Hopefully you can hear me. I'll admit, I only played this deck once. I just finished playing it like a couple minutes ago. But because it plays so flawlessly, even when my hand wasn't so optimal, as in Fabled style optimal, I did have 2 soul charges. So it took me, how many turns? 1, 2, 3. It took me about 3 turns to Quasar OTK, but it still was optimal. I drew a whole bunch. I actually summoned all 3 of Fabled Reagan. Summoned all 3 of them. So that was 6 cards I plussed out of using him. So that helped a lot. And of course the mighty soul charge. I only had like 3 Fables in my hands, but I still managed to set up the ability to create 2 Fabled Reagans in a single turn. So that was always good. So I had a Grimroll, right? And I had a Fabled Chawa, and I had Fabled Kus. Now, that wasn't enough. Obviously, I needed more than that in order to get the most spam out of it. I needed more than that, but I was able to make it work because I had 2 soul charges. Obviously, I only played 1 because I can only play 1 at a time. But I used Fable's Chawa's effect, discarding Crust. Sucks I couldn't get her effect, but I sent her to the grave. Specialed him. Since I have a Fabled monster, I was able to send Fabled Grimroll to the graveyard, and then I added to my hand a Fabled Kushana. Then I soul charged. Right? Soul charge, bringing back Grimroll and Fabled Crust onto the field. And then I was able to, obviously, since I haven't special summon, normal summon that turn, summon Fabled Kushana, set, I think I definitely had a Regeki Break and a MST. I set those 2 down, so then my hand was empty. And then I synchroed up into a Reagan, drew 2 cards, set those 2 cards, then I synchroed into another Fabled Reagan, drew 2 cards, set one of them, and kept one in my hand. I think what I set was a Call to Haunted, and I kept in my hand a Bait Doll. Alright. So in a single turn, I drew 4 cards, searched out 1. So I searched out 1 monster and drew 4 cards in a single turn. And I had a face down soul charge because I had to make sure I had nothing in my hand when I made Fabled Reagan, right? And it spammed, it worked. Called on to did its thing and all that stuff, and I was able to make Quasar. I had black rolls on the field and all that good stuff. Eventually I drew into a 1-for-1. It wasn't all necessary since I had Quasar in my 3rd turn. It was more than enough. I didn't need to do anything else. I had Quasar my 2nd turn. My 3rd turn is when I finally attacked. Because soul charge on my 2nd turn, obviously. But I devastated my opponent with Regeki Break, MST on his turn, Bait Doll on my turn, and just popped all 3 of his back roll. He had a monster face down. What was it? I'm trying to think if I can remember what deck he was running. I think I figured out what deck he was running once I got to the point. He did something. What was he running? Oh, damn, I forgot. Because it was familiar, like, he did something and I was like, oh, that's what he's running. What was he running? Oh well, I guess it wasn't that memorable as I thought it was. But anyway, I got Fabled Grimroll. This is my Soul Fabled Quasar deck, or Fabled Soul Charge Quasar deck, whichever way you want to call it. Obviously I use Soul Charge, I use the Fables, right, and I make Quasar. But that's what Fables and Soul Charge do, is make Quasar, right? but I only have one in the deck, one Quasar. Alright, so I have 3 Grim Rolls, 3 Crusts. Grim Roll, when you have a Fable on your side field, you can discard it to search a Fable from your deck and add it to your hand, except a copy of herself. So she's the reinforcement of the army of the deck, as it were. Fable Crust. When this card is discarded to the graveyard, select the level 4 or lower Fable monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Obviously, all the Fables in this deck are level 4 or lower. Fable Kushano. You can discard 1 Fable monster from your hand to the graveyard, except a Fable Kushano, to add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So while he's in the graveyard, you can discard a Fable to add him back to the hand. And of course, Fables, when they're discarded or sent from the hand to the graveyard, you get their effects, right? The Fable Cerberus, I like saying Cerebus, but the Fable Cerebus, adorable little thing. If he's discarded to the graveyard, special summon it. Then that specifically does state mean as if it's discarded even for a cost, it gets its effect. Unlike Dark Rolls, that they don't get their effect if they're discarded for a cost. The Fable Chawa, during your main phase, you can discard 1 Fable monster and special summon this card from your hand. You know, so he works good with Cross, Cerebral. You know, even with Fable Kushano, because you can add him right back to your hand by discarding another Fable monster, so you can get a lot of discard effects. Man, if Dark Rolls had that, you know what I mean, that would spam, and if it counted as an effect of discarding, an effect that discards, not a discarding as a cost type bullshit, right? Man, anyway, and he's a 1-star tuner. Cerebus, I'll just say Cerebus. Cerebus, he's a tuner, he's a 2-star tuner. Kushano is also a tuner, while Grimroll and Crust are not. They're your non-tuners, as well as your Fable Lori is also a non-tuner. When this card is discarded from your hand to the graveyard, special summon. So obviously a good combo would be to discard Lori with Fable Chawa, so both of them were special. Then you can sync into formula, right? All that good stuff, and not even waste a normal summon yet, right? Then you got Fable Raven. He'll activate their effects. You summon them, discard all your Fables, specifically the ones that when they're discarded, you get an effect to get all their effects off, right? He's a tuner. He's a 2-star tuner, but he can go higher based off of how many cards you discard for his effect. He does activate the Dark Rolls effect, so Dark Roll players do use him. He's there, you know, just because he's there. I don't use him as much as I use the rest. The rest of the lineup I definitely use in my Fable builds. He's just there taking up space. He's just there because he's there. He works. So you never know. Maybe one day I'll be like, summon him, discard all the Fables in my hand, soul charge, spam, right? You never know. So he's just there just in case. Soul Charge, obviously, power spell card of the deck. You know what to do with it. Make Quasar, Fate Dawn, MST, Red Geki Break, Red Screen, the staples. You know what to do with them. Call the Haunted. You know, bringing back your monsters for the purpose of making Quasar and just to get your monsters back to use them for synchro summon, all that good stuff. You know, reusing your monsters is always good. And this doesn't have a cost like Soul Charge does, so free resummons are always good. Yay! 1 for 1, because you have 6 1-stars in the deck, but it also helps you because, you know, the whole sending a Fable monster from your hand to the graveyard, you know, is always good, right? Get effects off and stuff. But specifically, you want to get Chawa out the deck onto the field, because I, you know, use him for synchroing. Slacker Magician, in case you ever gotta go into your rank 1 plays, you know, gotta stall, gotta defend yourself long enough to make Quasar. Zen mains, same premise. If you're ever in a position where you have to defend yourself, he's a good option. Plus, he helps you minimize your opponent's field presence, so that way you can make a comeback. Exciton Knight, clear the field. Enough said, right? Broken. Formula, get that +1 and helps you make Quasar. Gralis, the purple pyro tile. It's just a formula substitute in case formula ever gets warning or removed from play or something like that, like system down or something. I have a backup 2-star synchro tuner. Plus, he has a decent effect that, you know, is useful. Underworld Fighter Balmong, instead of the 4-star Fabled synchro, just because this one's a little more generic. It's a little more useful. You know what I mean? I synchro into it, I attack, I get Mirror Force. At least I get something out of it. You know, I get a monster back. You know, protect me. Ally of Justice Catasta, in case I go up against a deck that's light base, or, you know, obviously mirror match when my opponent, you know, is playing Fables. I'm like, alright, Catasta, boom. Fables are light types, take him down. So that's always good. Plus, he's 5-star, so he helps with the Quasar thing. Black Rose, got it in case I need to clear the field. Stardust, in case I need Stardust. Stardust red screen, start for the win, right? Colossal Fighter, starts to kill him by battle. Right, enough said. He's also good against a Catastor, if need be. In case somebody summons Catastor on me, I just bring out a Colossal Fighter. Right, run it over. Deal a lot of damage. Shooting Star Dragon, mainly because I make Quasar if Quasar manages to get defeated. Shooting Star Dragon takes his place. Quasar, because he's the boss monster of the deck. He spams, you know what to do. Plus, he's your win condition, you know what I mean? I won with him, right? And then Fable Reagan, your draw engine, plus he helps you go into Quasar, so nothing wrong with drawing into Quasar, right? Into your Quasar combo. And there is my Soul Fabled Quasar OTK deck. Kind of OTK. Because if you play it right, obviously, without Soul Charge, you can make Quasar OTK in the same turn if you draw the right hand. What if you don't draw the best optimal hand? You draw a not so decent hand, but you got Soul Charge. You can do something. You can at least try to set up a Quasar play. And that's the end of the deck profile.